Greetings, everyone, and welcome back for another Hot Topics breakdown. Okay, if this is your first time here, welcome, and you want to be a part of our weekly discussions, such as this one, like our Hot Topics discussions, our pop culture discussions, our reality TV drama discussions, then you can start today by subscribing. Okay, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss out. Okay, welcome, everybody. All right, so let's get into it. So, on today's Hot Topics lineup, we have Brandy. She's apologizing for the mishap that took place at a recent concert. Okay, she's on tour with Monica, the Boys Mind tour. And some fans were left disappointed and unimpressed because Brandy had to walk off stage. Well, she's issued an apology and somewhat of an explanation. All right, we're going to get into J-Lo. Her ex-husband is ripping her a new one and exposing her, okay? J-Lo was recently on Howard Stern's podcast where she basically said that she's never been loved, so on and so forth. And her ex-husband is basically telling everybody that J-Lo is the problem. And Kevin Federline seems to think that $40,000 a month is not enough money for him to survive on. Okay, you guys know he has his memoir coming out, and he's obviously using Britney Spears and her situation and his relationship with Britney Spears to promote this memoir. Are you going to buy the memoir? I'm not interested. I'm pretty sure somebody will read about it and post everything that they need to post online. Anyway, as you are coming in, please pay your admission fee, and that is hitting the like button. Be sure to join in on the conversation in the comments section. All right. So without further ado, let's get straight into Miss Brandy Vocal Bible Norwood. Okay. So I saw this circulating online. I saw people talking about a health scare that Brandy had at a Chicago concert. And I'm saying to myself, what is going on? Some people said it was sound issues. Some people said she walked off because she was mad. There were concert goers that were all over social media in the comment sections saying that it was the last 30 minutes of the show and it's not that serious. So a whole bunch of mixed information. So let's get into this People article and read about it. So Brandy breaks her silence after abruptly leaving stage mid-performance and ending the concert with Monica early. Okay, there's a beautiful picture of Sister Brandy. All right. So after she abruptly left the stage mid-performance and ended her concert with Monica early on Saturday, October 18th, the singer, who's 46, spoke out about the ordeal in an October 19th Instagram post. Thank you all for the overwhelming love, support, and most importantly, your prayers, Brandy began. I sincerely apologize for the abrupt end to last night's performance in Chicago. After weeks of nonstop rehearsals, last night I experienced dehydration and feelings of wanting to faint. Everyone involved agreed that prioritizing my well-being was the utmost importance. I still made the decision to try to return and give it my all despite not feeling okay. With having to make some adjustments and the show being very technical, unfortunately, it was impossible to fully connect sonically with the production. I really appreciate everyone's best efforts. And yeah, here we are. All right. She goes on to say, I'm deeply grateful to my sister Monica for stepping up with such grace and professionalism, and the entire crew for their continued care and support. I went from the arena to see a doctor nearby and have taken the proper precautions to help moving forward. Your understanding, patience, and unwavering belief mean the world to me. I look forward to returning to the stage stronger and more grateful than ever alongside my girl Monica tonight in Indianapolis. With all my love, Brandy. So I think, first of all, I think this was the right thing to do. Some people were saying that she left in an ambulance. Like I said, it was a whole bunch of mixed comments and opinions and input. Okay. Some of the concert goers, as I said, stated that it was the last 30 minutes of the concert, so it wasn't that serious. Some people are demanding refunds. So I don't know. I mean, I can understand being excited and hyped, wanting to see Brandy and Monica. First of all, this tour was genius. Okay. Whoever initially thought of this, whoever's putting this together, whoever put this together, genius. And it's so beautiful to see them, grown women, okay, who had real beef back in the day. Okay. I'm talking about it got physical. If you know, you know. And to see them now, grown women in all of their classy, elegance and just grown, professional, all their success on tour together. Years ago, you couldn't pay me to believe that this would take place, okay? Many, many, many moons ago. So she was performing with Monica during their Boys Mind tour at the United Center in Chicago when she walked off stage and did not return. So Monica sang the remainder of the set solo, and the audience was sent home without hearing the duo's iconic "The Boy Is Mine." Right. So I can understand being disappointed. The name of the tour is "The Boy Is Mine." Their famous song, "The Boy Is Mine." So I can understand, closing out the show with that iconic song and hoping to see that, and they didn't. So I don't expect people who paid good money to see this show travel, probably got babysitters, made arrangements, to be extremely understanding. They have a right to be upset and disappointed. As far as a refund, I mean, if it was the last 30 minutes of the show, I mean, 50% of the show you watched and enjoyed. So I don't know about a refund. I don't know how she's going to make it up to the people in Chicago. So it's mixed reviews. Some people are like, it is what it is. Some people are like, no, I want a full refund. So thanking Monica of how she handled the unexpected situation, I read what she wrote. Monica reshared Brandy's recent statement on her own Instagram stories. I'm telling you, this is genius. So videos shared on social media showed Brandy leaving the stage mid-performance. She said, "Give me 1 second, y'all. I got to get my," and then she walked off. Should Monica have said something? I don't know. Maybe Brandy wouldn't have wanted her to say anything. I don't know. So look, if you were there, now you know exactly what happened. Okay. This has been circulating all over social media. She gave a statement. What more do you want from the girl? She wasn't feeling well. And I agree that everyone should always prioritize their health over anything and anyone else. So it is what it is. It happened. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Very professional, classy. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the people in the audience should get a refund for the last 30 minutes of the show that they didn't get to see? Or do you think they should just suck it up? It is what it is, and just have understanding that Brandy had a medical emergency that she had to tend to. I mean, would you have preferred her pass out on stage? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can understand both sides. I can understand the audience being ticked off, and I can also understand Brandy prioritizing her health and going straight to get medical attention. All right, who's up next? Ooh, child. Let me tell you something. Y'all remember J-Lo's first husband, Ohani? Y'all remember him? Well, he is basically clapping back, and he is accusing J-Lo of cheating. Okay. Let's get into this article. So Jennifer Lopez's first husband is firing back after she claims she's never been truly loved by any of her exes, accusing her of being the one who strayed. Okay. Ohani Noah, who was married to J-Lo from 97 to 98, unleashed a furious Instagram rant over the weekend after hearing her comments from a recent Howard Stern interview where the singer said her past partners weren't capable of loving her. Now, girl, why would you sit up on that Howard Stern's platform or any platform and lie like that, allegedly, or say that about your exes? It seems to me in her relationships over the years, we've not seen her take any accountability for anything. She's had very public relationships. She's been married several times. And, she never takes accountability. And here we are yet again. Well, Ohani said, "Not today, Miss Thing." So this is an Instagram post. I'll read this. "Stop putting us down. Stop putting me down with your victim card. The problem, it's not us, not me. The problem, it's you. You the one who couldn't keep it in your pants. You have been loved few times. You've been married 4 times and have had countless relationships in between. You have had good relationships. Me, for example." Okay. So Ohani, who's now a personal trainer, he wasn't having it. All right. So you guys just read what he posted to social media. He went on to accuse J-Lo of cheating during their short marriage. Oh my God. And he basically said that you decided to lie, to cheat on me. You begged me to keep the marriage intact to avoid bad press. All right. So let's read this. "I was in love with you. I even move out of state, leaving my job, my family, and friends behind to support you, to love you, to protect you, and care for you. I'm an amazing, loving person, great human being, honest, faithful to you, never lied, never misbehaved, never cheated on you. I was too good for you. I'm too good of a man for you. Mm. So Jennifer Lopez, she basically has not, of course, responded to Ohani's claims, but her comments about never being truly loved were aimed at all her exes, including Ben Affleck, whose February divorce she called the best thing that ever happened to me. So this is a picture of J-Lo and Ohani. All right. As J-Lo put it, it's not that I'm not lovable. It's that you're not capable. So, of course, Harvey and them from the TMZ, they reached out to J-Lo's reps for comment. And so far, no word back. You think she's going to try to sue him or try to hit him with a gag order? So he basically said he uprooted his life to support her. He left his family to be there for her. And he never misbehaved. And she was the one that cheated. What do you guys think? Now, listen, there have been rumors about J-Lo for many, many, many years that she is not nice. She's not kind. She's not, easy to work with. She has a very nasty attitude. You know, Ben Affleck has said things about her. They broke up. They were married. They broke up. Then they got married again. It's a mess. But again, her life is public. She's a public figure, and I do believe that if she was lying on Ohani, for instance, he has every right to speak up for himself. He has every right to defend himself and defend his character if J-Lo is out here lying on people. So he said J-Lo was cheating and she couldn't keep it in her pants. I'm curious to see what she's going to say, if she's going to respond to him at all. But am I surprised? Absolutely, positively not. All right. On today's episode of Make It Enough, okay, we have Kevin Federline. This is the ex-husband and baby father of Britney Spears. So Kevin Federline, according to Us Weekly, he insists that when Britney Spears was paying him $40,000 a month in alimony, y'all, he said it didn't stretch as far as you'd think. Okay, can you believe this? 40 grand. Some people don't even make 40 grand a year. Let's get into this article. So for nearly 2 decades, Britney Spears paid her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, a staggering $40,000 a month, but he claims in his upcoming memoir that he was barely able to scrape by. You couldn't scrape by? There's people scooping by, okay, with less than $40,000 a year. That's their salary. He was barely able to scrape by. Wow. He says, when Britney and I divorced, the court awarded me $20,000 a month in child support. Can you believe that? At the same time, I was receiving alimony, another $20,000 a month for half the duration of our marriage, a marriage that lasted 2 years and change, Federline writes in You Thought You Knew. People hear figures like that and think that you're financially set, but the reality is far from that. So here's my question. What is it that you were doing besides procreating all over the place? What is it that you were doing to bring in income for yourself? What if Britney Spears didn't have no money? How would you have taken care of yourself and the kids that you decide to bring into this world? This man said $40,000 was barely enough to scrape by. Federline, a father of 6, explains that raising his and Spears' 2 sons, they're 20 and 19 now. My gosh, time flies. In an expensive city like Los Angeles, well, you move and you downsize. In an expensive city like Los Angeles, where they needed security, came with a price tag that would make anyone's head spin. He has since moved his family to Hawaii, okay? The money didn't stretch as far as you'd think, Federline insists, adding that he also tried to provide the boys with a lifestyle that they were used to when they lived with their multi-millionaire mother, which he alleges easily ran well over $40,000 a month. Well, they would have had to get used to downsizing to some degree, because I can understand kids, if they're born into a certain lifestyle and they become accustomed to a certain lifestyle, as a parent, you want to do your very best to try to keep that lifestyle as normal, as close to normal as possible. But guess what? Let me tell you something. When these kids, child, when they grow up and they become, well, they're adults now, they're going to understand as they get older and they get more mature, things change just like the seasons. And you have to learn and know how to pivot. Child, it added up fast, he writes. The money was gone almost as soon as it came in. Federline also claps back at people who assume he was coasting off his ex-wife's fortune, claiming that couldn't be further from the truth. I wasn't some bum just sitting around waiting for a check, the former backup dancer and rapper argues. I was out there hustling, grinding, investing, working to build a solid foundation for myself and my kids. You a mother, Kevin Federline, and you got kids? What exactly were you doing? That's none of my business. You don't have to explain nothing to me. Ahead of the release of Federline's tell-all, Spears, 43, took to social media to accuse her ex of trying to make a fast buck using her name. Trust me, those white lies in that book, they're going straight to the bank, and I am the only one who genuinely gets hurt here. This is what Britney Spears wrote on Twitter on Wednesday, October 15th. Spears' rep shared a similar sentiment in a statement to Us Weekly on Tuesday, October 14th, saying in part, with news from Kevin's book breaking, once again, he and others are profiting off her. And sadly, it comes after child support has ended with Kevin. Yeah, because the kids, I don't think they're in school. If they was in school, he probably would, if they were enrolled in college like full time, he probably would have still been getting child support, depending on the parameters of their agreement. So Federline denied that narrative during an exclusive interview with Us on Wednesday, Us Weekly on Wednesday, asserting that money's not the root of his memoir. So why didn't you write a memoir before? You writing this memoir, it's obvious child support ran out, and this is your hustle. This is your way to make money. Just admit it. If she has the right to tell her story, why don't I? He added, referencing Spears' 2023 bestseller, The Woman in Me. Spears and Federline, they married in 2004. They welcomed Preston in 2005 and Jaden in 2006, only to separate less than 2 months after the latter's arrival. Federline writes in, you thought you knew, that he found out about Spears' divorce filing from a TV producer right before a live interview. Immediately after, he called his lawyer, who confirmed the news. It all happened so fast, I couldn't even catch my breath, he remembers. At first, I wasn't even angry. I didn't get the chance. I was too busy being blindsided, too busy trying to figure out what this meant for me and the boys. This was much more than a breakup. It was a public unraveling of my life. The former couple finalized their divorce in 2007. All right. Is he going to talk about him and what's her name? Niecy from Moesha? Huh? You going to talk about that? Are you going to talk about that relationship? Wasn't he? Let me not accuse nobody of doing something they ain't had no business doing. I mean, it's obvious. Child support ran out, okay? And you got to hustle and do what it is that you have to do. Now, as far as him stating that he wasn't some, guy just sitting on his behind waiting to collect a check from his wife, that's questionable. Because what exactly were you doing? Everyone knew you as, you were a former backup dancer. I don't recall him having a rap career. It sounds familiar, but obviously that didn't go anywhere. You obviously were scraping by because the money that you were getting was the $40,000 that you were getting from Britney Spears each month. But again, you had time to, sow your royal oats all over the place. And he said that he was blindsided. I mean, you were cheating on Britney Spears. Like, let's keep it a bean. And I'm not going to buy the book to find out if he goes into detail about Niecy from Moesha. What is that girl's name? Shar? Is it Shar Jackson? I want to say it's Shar Jackson. Anywho, well, Kevin Federline, obviously you came out, the boys came out all right. You made it over, sis. So now you're doing what you need to do to survive, which is writing this book. We're not stupid. We all know. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's episode of Hot Topics. Before you go, please be sure to like the video. Okay. Again, if you are new here and you want to join in on the conversation and be notified whenever I upload, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you select all when you click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the uploads. All right. All right. That's it. That's all I got, y'all. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. This concludes this episode of Hot Topics, but I will be back. So don't you fret. Okay. And hopefully you guys will too. All right. I love you for watching. And as always, I will talk to you later.